Welcome back to Salesforce Gurukula. Today I'm with you guys with an exciting topic about how to build an app exchange product from the running application. So today's agenda basically covers about three main topic. One is um, failed story from the weed stock distributor, and how to make a successful apps from the running application which is used in internal sales process or any other your internal application which is used in your company. And third thing is app exchange product life cycle. Let's jump into the vstock distributor failure story. So vstock distributor is one of the major wholesale distributor in California. They basically distribute sort of products end to end. So they are having a sales end-to-end life cycle, which is having sort of a account and opportunity management, quote management, warehouse management, shipping management, and communities and many other modules they are having and they are using in their internal sales process. The one fine day they decided to create an app exchange product from that. So they started creating an application package from out of that running application, and they deployed into their golden packaging org. Then they started doing the unit test, and the result is zero. Nothing is working, right? So then they started debugging. Then they come to know that there are plenty of components they missed while creating the package. There are many piece of functionalities not really working while doing the quality testing. So then there are lot of development cost involved in rework of the functionality, right? And ultimately there is a slippage, huge slippage in the timeline. This took almost 20 months to complete their complete product, right? Release into a app exchange. And definitely there are a lot of lead customers has been missed in this case. Let's let's move to the next slide and let's see how we can improve or how we can mitigate these kind of risks or challenges whenever we are building the app exchange solutions from your existing or in-house application. So how to make a better apps? First of all, you need to understand your clients or business use cases, right? And have a detailed discussion around that use cases, right? And come to the conclusion whether these use cases are really required in terms of clients or partners business. The second is you define the scope of your particular application. Scope in the sense, in our example, okay, so do we really need the account management or opportunity management or warehouse management, or do we need a community, right? Define the scope of your application. So then identify the components, right? Components which includes everything, right? Identify the components which are required for this particular scope, right? For example, do we need a account trigger, right? Or do we need a community, right? So do we need a sort of a integration with the legacy system? Identify those components first, right? Then create a package, okay, based upon your scope. Then identify the component and create a package from that, right? Once you are done with your package creation, then basically go and deploy to any one of your development org. Okay, so once this is deployed into a development org, then do a round of a sanity check whether we have moved all the components from our running application into this particular development org. Perform a unit testing, perform a quality testing, perform a functionality testing, perform a load testing. You just do a one round of testing completely in this particular development org, right? Try to identify all the missing components and start including all those functionalities, or try to fill the gap. So once that is done, and once you are kind of a confident enough, all right, then you just prepare your checklists, whether it could be your deployment checklist, or whether it could be your data load activity. Everything you just make sure you prepare it and document it properly. Then prepare a fresh package, right? That is basically you are taking it to your golden packaging org, where we are creating a beta package, right? Deploy it to your golden packaging org, create a beta package, right? And install it to your developer edition box. From the package, right, you will get a packaging URL. From there you install a package and perform the same testing activity one more time, and make sure all the pieces are working properly, right? So what is the next biggest thing once you are done with your testing? So the next biggest thing is security review, right? So Salesforce do a security review in multiple steps, right? So make sure you prepare for the security review, right? And make sure you fix all your code quality issues, right? If you have any security related bug, you fix it, right? And you just submit for the security review. Security review happens, as I said, security review happens in the multiple steps, right? So it doesn't mean like it will pass it in one shot, right? Maybe it will be passed in the first phase, or maybe it is a provisionally passed, or maybe it is a failed, right? So properly prepare for the security review and make sure security review we are aligned with the checklist. So if the security review is passed, the next step is go and create a app exchange package and publish it. You are ready. So now you can approach your clients to install your package and start doing some testing around that. So coming back to the next topic, which I am going to talk, is basically how to build your apps using Salesforce AppExchange. For example, if you are a very beginner or new to the AppExchange app, how we can build the app exchange app from the fresh, right? I just mention few of the steps here. Step one is join the Salesforce partner community, and strategize or plan your AppExchange app, develop package, test your AppExchange app, prepare your AppExchange for a security review, offer some trials for your prospectus, offer free app trials to your prospectus, upgrade and distribute your app, manage app licenses and customer support, right? Let's go one by one in detail. The app exchange product life cycle, if you can see here, is a complete a circle, right? The first one is nothing but a plan, the second will be a build, third will be a distribute, fourth will be a market, and fifth will be a sell, and sixth will be support. The each stage is very very important, we can't ignore any one of the stage here, right? Let's jump into each stage, and let's discuss in detail about every stage. The first thing is nothing but a plan, right? The plan should be your perfect plan, you should not fail somewhere in middle of your development, right? So before that, you create your roadmap of your product, right? Create a roadmap for your product, right? And understand for whom you are targeting, what are your target audience, what type of customer you are targeting, whether they are enterprise customer, whether they are a mid-size customer or a small customer. And define your business strategy, it is a very very important, right? You have to define your business strategy, then only you can get the outcome of your work here, right? The other thing is nothing but which Salesforce additions you are going to support. For example, will this app is going to work on a professional edition or enterprise edition or unlimited edition? The other next step is what are the license steps you want to use in order to use this particular app. So these are the some of the basic key things we need to plan it properly in our initial stage. The next important thing is nothing but a build. This is a development work. So before jumping into the build phase, make sure we have a proper environment setup and in place, right? Especially for development and testing, environment setup needs to be done, right? The development environment is basically the place where you are designing your application or architecting your application and start doing the development. It could be anything, right? Triggers or Apex controllers or lightning components or lightning web components or flows or process builders, page layouts. Everything it will come in this particular phase, right? So the suggestion is to go for an iterative process, right? The iterative process, you can just go with any sort of a delivery model. For example, agile, you can go for a sprint and you can execute the different scopes in a different sprints to build the application, right? Before jumping into the build phase, and make sure you have all the tools which are required for your build in place. For example, IDE. So which ID we need to use it? Whether do we need to those IDs are paid version, or that is some sort of a you know free editions? And do we need some sort of automation servers for doing your deployments or compilations or validations, all those things? And do we need some sort of a repository structure in order to follow a CI/CD process, right? Checking your code to the repository and make sure nobody else is overriding your codes. These are the basic things should be in place before starting your build phase, right? Assume like you have all this phrase request is ready, and assume you are going with a sprint approach to build your development step, and your package is developed, and you have covered all this scope. Then what next? The next will be a distribute, right? This is the another a kind of a big milestone, is a distribute. The once you have completed your build, and next is how to go live to the market, right? And make your apps available to your customer, right? So for this, basically you have to create a package and you have to upload it to AppExchange. That's the main things we have to do it. So before that, what is the biggest things you need to pass is a security review. The most of the people, they feel like this is some kind of a stressful steps. So whenever we are passing the security review, but it is not really, right? If you are following all the Salesforce standard best practices and guidelines during your build phase, then this is not really a big challenge in order to pass the security review, right? Assume once you pass your security review, the next step will be publishing your apps by using a publishing console on the partner community page. So in this page, basically you can create and manage all your app exchange listing. So this is how basically the build is basically going to get published into app exchange repository or a store, and this will be available to the all your customer. What next? The next biggest thing is generating the revenue, right? So how we will generate the revenue? That is by marketing and selling. So the marketing and selling is another challenging things, and we have to attend a lot of events. We need to target our audience, and we have to get them interested in our particular product, right? So we need to give a lot of demos, other steps, in order to make them understand what exactly our products and what features we are giving it as part of that particular product, right? The other thing is work with the Salesforce partner marketing team to learn the new strategy and developing the campaigns around that, right? And give some free trials to your customer for some time, right? In order to explore the product's capability and features before they are purchasing it. You work with a partner account manager, right, from the Salesforce and also the Salesforce sales team in order to get the new leads. Now finally, assume you got at least few hundred leads, right? And try to convert those leads into a paying customer. This is a very crucial stage where you need to approach the customer You need to explain your product features and what sort of benefits you will get out of from that, and turn that particular lead into a customer. The next step is a support. So you have planned it, you have built that, you published it, you marketing it, you sold some of the your apps, and next the challenging things is support. So we have to constantly give a technical support to your customers who are they're using the your products, right? The multiple ways you can give a technical support, right? The the main two channels are basically, one is a push upgrades. Push upgrade is basically where you are pushing a lot of patches or small bug fixes or defect fixes, or it could be a kind of a major upgrades or release you are adding into to your app exchange product. The other thing is nothing but a subscriber support console. So this is a tool where you are getting a client or informations in order to do the sort of a troubleshooting or a joint troubleshooting with their orgs if they face any challenges after installing your apps. I hope these sessions gave some background about how to build an app exchange products from the running solutions or in-house solutions which you are using, right? And what are the major stages involved in while building the app exchange product. If you're still having some trouble getting through these stages, feel free to contact me. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you. That's all for now.